Hello, Igraasp. Welcome back to your weekly news capsule. There are many lessons to learn from nature. For example, seek the joy of achievements and growth, not for impressing others, but for your own sake. Flowers don't care if they are admired. The joy of their beauty is the natural fulfillment of their destiny. So, find joy in everything you do. Today's news highlights are: PM Narendra Modi launches E-RUPI digital payment solution. CBSE results for 10th and 12th grade announced. India takes on UN Security Council presidency for August. Software glitch causes International Space Station to go off course. Plastic sticks used in balloons, candies, ice cream to be prohibited by Jan 1st, 2022. Greenland's ice sheet experiences a massive melting event last week. Esteban Ocon wins Hungarian Grand Prix. And last but surely not the least, our F2 segment. Let's begin with the national news segment.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi has launched the E-RUPI payment solution scheme, which will help ordinary citizens as well as government contractors receive payments from the government. The initiative offers a cashless as well as contactless digital payment option, which will be delivered to the mobile phones of the beneficiaries. The platform has been developed by the NPCI, which stands for the National Payments Corporation of India, with the help of several other government ministries. The government also added that the private sector too could use the payment system to provide employee welfare programs, as well as contribute through it for the CSR. The future is digital payments, Igraasp, and we are slowly getting there.
The Central Board for Secondary Education announced the results for 10th and 12th grade students last week. For the 10th grade, the pass percentage shot up all the way to 99.04%, with over 12% of students receiving above 90%. For the 12th grade, the pass percentage was 99.37%, with over 70,000 achieving above 95%. We are extremely proud of all the students and wish them all the best for their future.
India last week assumed the rotational presidency of the Security Council for the entire month of August, where it will focus on three key issues: maritime security, peacekeeping, and counter-terrorism. India thanked France for heading the CS in the previous month of July and for supporting its endeavours and initiatives in the world body. This is India's 10th tenure of the prestigious council, dating all the way back to June 1950. The External Affairs Minister of India, Dr. S. Jaishankar, tweeted about the appointment, saying that India will always be a voice of moderation, an advocate of dialogue, and a proponent of international law. This is a great honour for our country and a perfect birthday gift for all of us, celebrating 75 years of independence.
Last week, there was a bit of a scare aboard the International Space Station after 7 crew members from Russia briefly threw it off course. After the astronauts landed on the space station, the spacecraft's thrusters inadvertently came on, which caused the station to pitch out of position 250 miles above the Earth, leading the mission's flight director to declare a spacecraft emergency. Control was re-established through the Earth Control Center as well as by the astronauts on board. And now, the ISS is back on trajectory in its orbit. To be able to think on your feet and figure out ways to fix the ISS requires you to be cool, calm, and collected under pressure. Igraasp, something we can all learn from.
Igraasp, have you ever wondered how refrigerators work in space? The household fridges, if transplanted into a spacecraft, would overheat and create a lot of problems, ultimately spoiling the food. Well, but not anymore. Recently, a group of scientists from Purdue University, Air Squared Incorporation, and Whirlpool Corporation overcame these obstacles by developing the world's first, most energy efficient refrigerator for space by adopting the cooling technology of a domestic fridge. It comes with a micro-sized storage capacity that can reach temperatures even as low as -4 °F. This not only helps the astronauts by extending the food life, but it also gives them a variety of options to consume from. Now, isn't that interesting?
The central government of India has said that it's trying to phase out plastic from ice cream and candy sticks from January of next year. The Environment Minister Ashwini Chaubey has stated that there have been some goods identified as single-use plastic items, and those will be prohibited by January 1st, 2022. India took a pledge way back in 2016 to start phasing out single-use plastics, with 14 states and union territories constituting special forces to get the job done. So remember, Igraaspers, be responsible citizens and avoid the use of these single-use plastics.
Champagne makers have been hit badly by this year's rainy season, with close to 20 to 25% of vineyards destroyed by mildew fungus, which is caused by heavy rains. Western Europe, which houses most of the world's champagne vineyards, has been hit by torrential rains from the beginning of July. Mildew attacks led to the grapes along with the leaves to dry up, which makes it extremely hard for champagne makers to continue the liquor making process. They have, however, stated that it will not impact the industry's economy and there will be no spike in prices.
The Greenland ice sheet witnessed a huge melting event which has raised alarm bells for climate scientists. The island, which is the largest after Australia, is home to the planet's only permanent ice sheet outside of Antarctica. Antarctica and Greenland, in fact, account for 70% of the world's fresh water. An estimated 22 gigatons of ice melted from the sheet last week, with scientists estimating that global sea levels could rise by 6 to 7 meters if the sheet were to melt completely. This is a true wake-up call, Igraspers, that we need to become climate conscious soon, before it's too late.
The Hungarian Grand Prix got off to a rocky start last week when 5 drivers got into a series of crashes in the first turn itself, which triggered the race to be restarted. Esteban Ocon took full advantage of this and helped his team Alpine as well as himself to win their maiden Grand Prix. Lewis Hamilton was looking for his 100th win but could not manage it, but did end up taking the lead in the overall driver standings over Max Verstappen. Mercedes too leapfrogged above Red Bull Racing to take the lead in the Constructors' Championship, with the F1 now going on a summer hiatus, returning at the end of August.
Hello, Igraspers. Welcome back to Eyes on the Olympics, where we tell you quickly all the happenings in Tokyo. We have to start with the biggest news of this week, with Neeraj Chopra winning the gold medal in javelin throw with a throw of 87.58 meters. This is the first time India has won a medal in a track and field event, and it's a fantastic achievement. We are super proud of him. Bajrang Punia as well managed to bag a bronze medal in the men's 65 kg freestyle event. Hockey as a sport once again was the center of the country's focus, with both the men's and women's team making us proud. The women's team sadly could not finish on the podium, but the men's team managed to secure the bronze medal, and the medal drought our country was facing for 41 years in hockey ended. Meanwhile, Lavlina Borgohain managed to win the bronze medal in women's welterweight boxing and made the entire country proud. Ravi Kumar Dahiya also shone through in his event and grabbed the silver medal in the men's 57 kg wrestling category. We also must make a special mention of 23-year-old Aditi Ashok, who battled really hard but missed the podium by just one stroke in the women's golfing event. Moving on to the international events, Simone Biles, the all-star gymnast, managed to bag a silver as well as a bronze medal in individual and team events. Climbing also made its debut in the Olympics, and it was a huge success, with 18-year-old Spaniard Alberto Lopez taking home the gold. Another highlight of this week was the 400-meter hurdle race, which many are calling one of the greatest races in Olympic history. Karsten Warholm won gold and broke the world record with a time of 45.94 seconds in an extremely competitive race. The women's race was equally competitive too, with the USA winning both gold and silver. Gold medalist Sydney McLaughlin also shattered the world record with a time of 51.46 seconds. That's all we have for you this week. We hope you keep enjoying the magnificent spectacle that is the Tokyo Olympics 2020.
The world's largest star sapphire cluster was unearthed and found by accident in a backyard in Sri Lanka. The sapphire cluster weighs 510 kilograms and potentially has a value of 2.5 million carats and was discovered in the house of a gem trader. It has taken over a year to clean the cluster and identify it, with many experts claiming this could be one of the largest clusters ever found. They have nicknamed it Serendipity Sapphire, with the estimated value of it all being $100 million. Now that's what we call digging up some good luck.
Igraasp, did you know that scientists have found that Earth's rotation is slowing down, which in turn is causing more oxygen in the atmosphere? The reason behind this is that certain bacteria and algae that produce oxygen through processes like photosynthesis have more time to absorb sunlight due to longer days born out of slower rotation. Scientists are also using this phenomenon to understand how oxygenation of planet happened in the first place millions and millions of years ago. Isn't science and Earth fascinating?
The City of London is the best city to be a university student. According to a survey, it topped last year as well. It was placed higher than Munich, Germany, which came second, and Tokyo and Seoul, the capitals of Japan and South Korea respectively, which are tied for third. The British capital retained its number one position due to the presence of world-class colleges, as well as the high presence of international students, along with having an abundance of graduate career opportunities. So Igraasp, if any of you want to go abroad for your graduation, make sure to check out colleges in London.
The word of the week is intimidate, which means to fill with fear. Postponement of CBSE results has continued to intimidate students this year. The riddle of the week is: I shave every day, but my beard stays the same. What am I? I am a barber.
Can you guess who? This American filmmaker of Indian origin is known for contemporary supernatural thrillers. While being popular for his horror films, he is also the co-author of the kids' film Stuart Little. His film The Sixth Sense was an international blockbuster that won him 6 Academy nominations, including that for Best Director and Best Original Screenplay. It is M. Night Shyamalan indeed. Did you know that Shyamalan is a philanthropist whose foundation supports emerging leaders in various fields?
Did you know that the longest French fry in the world is 34 inches long? It was discovered at Taffy's hot dog stand in New York in July 2010. Igraaspers, would you like to eat a fry that is as long as the screen of a regular LED TV?
Quiz time! Which cafe based in Ahmedabad tried to break the record by creating a French fry which measured about 11 kgs in weight? Send your answers to contact us at igraasp.com. Answer to the last week's quiz. The American artist who has been featured for her talent of converting tea bags into miniature paintings is Ruby Silvius. This certificate of appreciation is presented to Debarati Das of St. Augustine's Day School, Barrackpore, for successfully participating in the weekly quiz on India's leading news capsule for tweens, Igraasp.
Dear iGraspers, this week let's listen to the wind in the willows as generation upon generation of children and adults before us have done. A masterpiece in fantasy literature, this novel follows the adventures of rat, mole, toad and badger that never fail to amuse and surprise. Known for amazing characterization and rich vivid descriptions, this one better be in your bucket list. Don't forget to send your feedback on igraasp.com/iClub.
This brings us to the end of today's news capsule. Grief can take care of itself, but to get the full value of joy, you must have somebody to share it with. So remember, being just happy is not enough. Share and spread that happiness and it will increase 1,000 times. Until we meet again, cultivate positive thinking and make each day your masterpiece. Bye-bye.